So we're in Clovis, California, and we just finished repairing a water main leak at the sprinkler tee. A couple things I don't like. One is you've got iron pipe coming up out of the ground, and then a brass valve, and then copper. So the iron pipe, I prefer it not be there. And then down below is a tee, and right down in there where the valve comes out is a tee. Let me get a picture of that real quick. If I can get over there. Yep, go ahead and throw it in the ditch and knock everything around. Shovel out of the way. So, you can see down low. Sorry about the shaking when we get back out. There you go. Okay, not so bad. So, down there you can see iron pipe, and it comes up out of the ground to the valve, then copper. That iron pipe corrodes, and you can see there's a 90 right there and a nipple, and it's rusting. And you know, it's not too bad of a shape, but at some point, with any iron pipe that's in soil, it pops through. Right now it's not. So we determined, at least we think we did, that this adapter that was on there was split right where it was screwed into the valve. At least that's what it appeared like, because when we shut the valve off, no water. We turned it on, water spraying out. I can't exactly see on the fitting where it's cracked. I'd like to be able to see it. I think maybe I see it. It's hard to tell. But what we did is we just pulled it out, put a Schedule 80 nipple in there. So it's this is the fitting we're talking about right here. And that's Schedule 40 pipe. The gray plastic down here, Schedule 80. Twice as thick, very durable. And it's threaded one piece. It's not an adapter like that. And then you glue pipe in it. So let me see if I can back this off a little bit more. Yep, there you go. And it's right over top of a sprinkler line. I would imagine that the main PVC line, the 1.25 inch, is somewhere out here. And so what you have directly below that 90 is a T, and it heads in both directions, one toward the house, one away from the house. And that serves these two solenoid valves for the sprinklers. So it was too tight really to repair. We had to get creative. A little few offsets right here. But what we did is, 90'd over and up and over. And then, of course, these two lines are too close to each other, so we just hopped up and over. A little bit of piping, a little bit of turns, no big deal. I like to do solvent repairs. Some guys will come out here and put a gasketed fitting on here. It's a repair coupling that has rubber gaskets in them, but they're prone to leak, and you got to make sure the pipe doesn't move around. Well, I'd rather just glue the pipe together and call it a day. So right now the water's onto the home. It's never been off. We haven't shut it off. This valve has shut down. The sprinkler valve down here has shut off enough to where the water flow was minimal, and we could get this glued. So we're gonna let it dry for about an hour. When we come back, we're gonna suck out as much of this water as we can with our little tool here, and then we're gonna get some sand in the bottom, and then go ahead and get some gravel back in around the valve right here, and then hopefully it'll stay relatively dry. You don't want a lot of water sitting in here, especially down there on the on that pipe right there. It'd be better if that just stayed above. It should have been above ground. Let's put it to you that way. Any kind of pipe, PVC grade in soil, should have come up above the ground, and then a T, and then the valve above ground, and then a shut off valve for the house above ground, and then copper into the home. That's the way they do it now. And of course, this was built probably late 90s, maybe. My pop lives around the corner. Used to live around the corner, and his was built in 95, so probably right on there. Maybe a little bit newer than that, but that's just the wrong way to put stuff in. I don't know why they use that iron pipe. Probably just had it on their truck. And so anyways, that's the repair so far. We'll take another video after we get it sanded, get the box back on, and this soil's toast, I think. Maybe we'll just sand it all back in or gravel it all, I don't know. But anyways, we'll get some stuff and we'll be right back, taking the video. So we're in Clovis, California. We just finished repairing a sprinkler main and then monitoring it actually for several days for any further leaking. We did a repair a year and a half ago, maybe. Somewhere right in here there's a 1-inch line that goes to the backyard sprinklers. The shutoff valve is over here, but it had split, so we repaired that. And so this year, unfortunately, right where the irrigation valve is in that box, the fitting had split. And so what we did is we just took it apart, and used a Schedule 80 nipple. Can't remember if I took a video or not before I covered it all up. But anyway, so valves back in, gravel's back in. There's about 480 pounds of sand in here. Just because the soil is so wet, we don't want to put it in there and push things around any more than it has to be. So sand is in, and then of course a couple bags of gravel, so about 120 pounds of gravel in here. And that's just to keep, you know, for the box, and then to plant it, and then some loose dirt on top. And of course, it's dried up a little bit, so we've got it spread out real good. And then of course the rest, all we could do with it is just take it and kind of push it out toward the street here, so you can see along here, spread out the best we can. It'll have to dry, honestly, before you can do anything with it, but so that's good. Put the pavers back in. I know some of them were just stacked against the fence, and that one right there might be a conflict with your gate right here, but all the pavers are back in, washed down, sidewalks washed down. I got a little bit of mud right there when I walked there just right now, but anyways, it's all back in. We did monitor it. We shut it down yesterday morning, shut the house off, shut the sprinklers off, and there was no movement out at the meter. So on each meter there's a little indicator, and no movement there, so we're pretty confident that everything's taken care of. Outside of that, this installation is done.